Another phrase high-profile vegans like to bandy about is how it's so easy to go vegan. In fact, from what I've seen of their videos, Luca and Natasha of that vegan couple like to say that going vegan is as easy or as difficult as people make it. Unfortunately for them and everybody else who has that mindset, it's not that simple. First of all, there's the issue of social and community ties. People form strong family, social, and community ties throughout their lives. And a lot of these connections, for instance with parents, are so strong that people don't want to do anything that might lead to those ties being severed. Not every family or social group supports those who deviate from the group's norms, such as going vegan. For instance, my mother flipped out when I went vegetarian at 15 and threatened to make me start eating meat again if I didn't see a doctor to make sure that I wasn't endangering my health by not eating the dismembered flesh of dead non-humans. Then, when I was 23, when I told her I was going to ditch dairy for a set period of time, she told me dairy is necessary for calcium. And I know there are cases worse than the ones I just mentioned. Social pressure is quite strong, and a lot of people aren't strong enough to withstand it, especially if they have no support. The second issue in terms of ease or difficulty in going vegan is milieu, and to a degree it ties with the issue of social pressure. The first part of milieu is conditioning. For generations, we have been told that we need meat, dairy, and eggs to be healthy. And for a lot of us, it's like culture shock when we're told that's not true. Every vegan knows that we can do just fine on plants and plant-based foods alone, but the majority of us have had to combat years of being told that plants are insufficient for health. I hope the minority of people who were raised vegan realize how lucky they are. The second part of milieu is the fact that not everyone on planet Earth is lucky enough to live in an area with establishments which offer vegan goods. So even if these people wanted to go vegan, they'll have to go out of their way to get everything they need, including nutrients. Ergo, saying going vegan is as easy or as difficult as you make it is not only stupid, it's insensitive as well, as it ignores the reality of people's circumstances. Last but certainly not least is the fact that veganism, like atheism, feminism, or any other ideology, including those which promote fairness, equality, and justice, kind of has a bit of a public relations problem, which Furious Pete and others have illustrated when talking about their dealings with vegans. I'll include Unnatural Vegan's video response to Pete in the description below. I agree with Swayze that Pete's video about vegans was not well thought out, but it illustrates how so many non-vegans view vegans. Not only do we come across as preachy, self-important, and judgmental, but a lot of non-vegans also believe vegans believe pseudoscience, and the likes of Will Tuttle, Kathy Freston, and Heather Lounsbury don't help matters any in that department. Nobody wants to be associated with people who are looked at in a negative light. We all want to believe that we are good people, and we want to be perceived as such. It's human nature. There's a reason people don't like to call themselves atheists or they say, I believe men and women should be equal and should participate equally in society, but I'm not a feminist. It's because the words atheist and feminist have negative associations, and a lot of that has to do with bad apples who give themselves those labels. Veganism is no different. The bad apples are turning people away from veganism who might otherwise try it. Just another example of how even a couple of bad apples can spoil the bunch, and how attention to PR is so important. Simply because it's an unfortunate fact of life and reality that for a lot of people, perception is reality. Ease or difficulty in changing or even modifying habits varies from one person to the next. And habits can fall anywhere on the spectrum from comfortable to frustrating. And people do develop addictions, many of which require therapy and medical intervention to break. So to say developing one habit is as easy or as difficult as people make it, especially when one considers the aforementioned factors, is, yes, stupid.